Hello everyone, welcome to the English conversation. Our topic for this week is films. First of all, I will start with a recommendation of a Spanish film. I will explain you briefly what it is about, and Wiebke, she's going to finish the presentation with her German book.
Yeah, I also
film. Sorry.
I also have a movie recommendation. Yes.
Okay. My movie is called El Hoyo, which is the platform. The director, he's from Basque Country. He's called Galder. And it's a very recent movie from 2019. It is a science fiction horror with irony, humor, and surrealism. It's a critique towards capitalism. And yes, the director says that humanity will have to move towards the fair distribution of wealth. I will explain you now briefly. And there is a lot of violence and cannibalism. This is the bad part, but the message is the good thing.
Yeah.
And I had to wait till the end because I wanted to give up, but my friend told me like stay and watch it.
Did you watch it in the cinema or
No, at home in Netflix. It's very famous in Netflix. So yes, it's like a reflection of our society that it can't hide the violence, and it shows the how we rip each other apart. And the director's purpose is to generate discussion and debate about by viewers about the political messages. And it's basically a prison. The people go there because it's a prison, but it's not a normal prison. They're distributed by floors with cells. And for example, the protagonist is a volunteer who goes there to see the situation and if it's good or to change it.
Like how the situation is in the prison?
Yes, in the prison, and to change it. And he finally changes it because the food goes from top to down. And they're in its cell they have to eat the remains from the top, so the cells from down they don't have enough food, and you have to eat the food when it comes.
So the title, the platform, refers to the platform with food.
Yeah. Yes. So they have to eat it in the moment it goes. They have like 1 minute to eat, and they cannot take food because if not they die. So they eat. There are some parts they eat chop like people. They cut parts of people, or if they die, this. So this is disgusting. And finally, he achieves to send a girl upstairs to the authorities to for her to tell how are the things going, and yes, and that's everything. So we don't know if he finally succeeded, but he tries to, and he fulfills his mission, which is try to change it, but he dies. So yeah.
Sounds wow.
Yes, and well, interesting fact is it has a religious symbology like with Jesus, because they say things like, "Do you believe in God?" or the Messiah, and the sacrifice for the mission, which is saving, yes, the people or saving like the society. And also there is a Spanish symbol because they are able to bring something with them before entering in the platform. And he takes the Don Quixote's book because it's a symbol of madness and despair. And when you are despaired or mad, you fight for what you want. Do you understand? And you can achieve it, as he did.
Yes. Okay.
And well, and yeah, so hope sometimes can bring you mad.
Yeah.
Yes, this is another thing.
Wow, this sounds like a really, really heavy movie.
Yes, it's heavy, but the message is really good. But it's true that in some parts I had to. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so my movie is not that heavy, but it's also a serious movie. The English title is The People versus Fritz Bauer. And the German, you can see it in the picture, is Der Staat gegen Fritz Bauer. And the movie is from 2015, so it's also pretty recent, I would say. Yeah, the director is called Lars Kraume. I didn't know him before either. to be honest. And the movie or the film won German and international awards in 2016, I believe so, like after it was released. Yes. So what to expect, or what is this movie about? So the movie is based on a true story, or on the true life story of Fritz Bauer. And Fritz Bauer is the protagonist of the film, and he was a German jurist, and from 1956 to 1986 he worked as a public prosecutor in the German state of Hesse. I think it's called in English, I'm not sure. In German it's Hessen. Yes. And as I said, like, it's based on a true story of his life story, but in the movie, of course, there are also fictional elements. Yes. And he, as a Fritz Bauer, is mostly known because in this position as the public prosecutor, he was, I would say, almost the only one, and certainly the one in the highest position, who actually tried to convict Nazis, like who had a high position during the Nazi regime in Germany, and who didn't get prosecuted before from the Americans or the Russians or whatever. And the movie now shows how he tries to charge Adolf Eichmann for how he tries to bring Adolf Eichmann in front of a German court. Yes, Adolf Eichmann, he and his office, like the office he was the leader of, organized the persecution and the murder of almost all the European Jews that were murdered during the Second World War under the Nazi regime.
One question is more historical or political in that way?
Well, that depends on how political you see the history.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yes. So I would say it's an historic film, but it definitely has a political message too.
Okay.
I will tell you why later. So Adolf Eichmann had a big part in the persecution of the Jews, and after the Second World War, he flew to Argentina. And now in the movie, Fritz Bauer gets a letter that tells him, like an anonymous letter that tells him Adolf Eichmann is in Argentina, and he lives there, and he does this and this and this. And this letter starts his drive to find Adolf Eichmann and to bring him, as I said, in front of a German court. The problem is not only with like finding Eichmann and stuff like this, it's also mainly, I would even say, with his co-workers in his own in his court, and the political figures in Germany at the time, because they are not that interested in seeing Eichmann or other Nazis in front of a court, because this would...
he had to fight a lot for it.
This would raise a lot of political problems. Yes, so this is mainly what the movie is about, like trying to bring Eichmann in front of the court.
To make justice.
At the same time, but you can't, like, fighting against your own, like, people in a way. The movie is called The People versus Fritz Bauer. He also has contacts to Israel because they help him, and everything like this is in the movie. And I think it's very interesting. It's, like I said, of course you cannot watch the movie and then learn everything about history. Not everything is correct like it is in the movie. But the movie was very successful because the critics said, or the movie was praised because of the good acting and the character-driven plot, very strong characters, and yes, because it tells a story that not that many people are familiar with. In Germany, from my own experience, I can say that Fritz Bauer is not like recognized in the way that he might deserve, for his things, because he not only did this with Eichmann but also later with other Nazis, but this is not part of the movie anymore. Yes, so I think I would recommend you all to watch the movie, because it's a nice film. It's not only historic, it's also a nice story, in my opinion.
I love this kind.
Yes.
Okay, so good. So we talked about different kinds of films. Yes, I love like the kind of films you told me. So maybe I will watch it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
For me too.
So yeah, we will see you in next week's video.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thank you very much
for watching. Have a good time.
Okay, bye.